Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Gold with your weekly silver analysis done after the New York session for Thursday, 5th of September ended. I'm recording this video 10:15 in the evening, New York time on Thursday the 5th. Quick recap of my wave count for silver at the weekly chart level. I'm seeing a big trend change up here, and this so far downwards movement is typically corrective. From this high to this low we have a zigzag. I'm labelling this primary wave W, the first zigzag in a double zigzag. The double is joined by a corrective structure in the opposite direction labelled primary wave X. This is a nice contracting triangle. This is where the second zigzag in the double begins, and from this high to this low it subdivides as a 5-wave impulse. It's very difficult to see this as a completed zigzag, so the second zigzag is not over here, this is just intermediate wave A. Intermediate wave B may reach up to about the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio of intermediate wave A at 28.288. When I know where the B wave within it has ended, I'll calculate a better target for you upwards for the next wave up. Intermediate wave B within the zigzag of primary wave Y may not move beyond the start of A. Movement above 34.515 would invalidate this wave count at cycle degree. Let's have a look at this structure on the daily chart where the end of intermediate A down here is this point down here. So this is a nice 5-wave impulse downwards. I've checked that all the subdivisions are correct. From this low to this high, I was expecting more upwards movement, but with price movement back into this territory, it's over here. This is a 5-wave impulse from minor wave A within intermediate wave B. Minute wave 3 has no Fibonacci ratio to minute wave 1, but minute wave 5 is just 0.06 longer than 0.618, the length of minute wave 3. To the downside, for the last few days, we've got very choppy overlapping movement. This is probably a correction for minor wave B, which, because this is a 5-wave structure, this is likely to be a zigzag unfolding upwards, which means minor wave B can't move beyond the start of A, below 18.215. Let's have a look at this structure on the hourly chart where the start of minor B up here is this point up here. From this high to this low, it's an okay 5-wave impulse, but there's no Fibonacci ratios between minuet waves 1, 3 and 5. From this low to this high, it's a completed 3-wave structure, and there's a nice ratio between the C wave and the A wave. Minuet wave C here is 0.005 longer than 0.382, the length of the A wave. From this high to this low, I've tried to see if this could be a completed 5-wave structure. I want to see the end of the first wave here and the third wave here, and there's a nice ratio between them. The third wave is 0.081 longer than 2.618, the length of the first wave, and all its subdivisions are correct. It's got an extension in the middle of it. That looks typical. If I see the end of the fourth wave over here, then the fifth wave is unfolding as an ending, probably expanding diagonal. Alternatively, if I saw the end of the fourth wave over here, it would technically be a running flat because this failed very, very slightly to move beyond this point. We normally only see running flats in really strong pieces of movement, and this doesn't really fit the bill. So I don't think my minuet wave 4 is a running flat over here. I think it was more likely a little zigzag over here, and this is where the fifth wave starts, which means the fifth wave can't be over here because it can't be a 3-wave structure. It has to be a 5-wave motive structure, which means it's probably an ending diagonal. The third wave is longer than the first, so I'd expect the fourth wave to probably be longer than the second, which means it should probably move higher, but it can't move beyond the end of the second for a diagonal. Movement above 23.652 would invalidate this wave count in the short term. That's before the final fifth wave down is done. At 22.463, minute wave C would reach equality in length with minute wave A, and that would bring minor wave B close to the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio of minor wave A, which I drew on the daily chart and copied over here to the hourly chart. That gives us a small target zone to work with. Also draw this trend channel around this downwards movement from the start of minute A to the end of minute B place a parallel copy on the end of my new A, expect downwards movement to find support at the lower edge of that channel, to bounce off there and start a new 5-wave motive wave structure upwards. So I'm expecting for silver a bit more downwards movement to that small target zone, and then a trend change and the resumption of that recent upwards trend. That's all for me today with your silver analysis, and I hope everyone had a great week.